out!
We've had a cable from Tokyo. The Japanese fleet has left Sasebo. Looks like war.
When?
Matter of days, I would guess.
Thank God.
How can you say that?
It means we can go home.
I'd never see you again. Is that what you want?
If you're looking for Sydney, you'll find him down on the shore.
In the spring of 1904, Reilly found himself in the ancient Chinese province of Manchuria, a land so rich that both the Russians and the Japanese were greedy to possess it. From his vantage point, as a shipping agent in Port Arthur, which was the headquarters of the Russian Pacific Fleet, Reilly came to realize that the Russians were ill-prepared for war. As the crisis developed, Reilly pleaded in his dispatches to Cummings in London that the British do something to avert the catastrophe that would follow a Japanese attack. But the British and Japanese had recently become allies, and Cummings was loath to interfere. Instead, he instructed Reilly to place himself at the disposal of the Japanese Navy, thereby ensuring his reluctant participation in the coming war.
These batteries overlook the harbor?
Yes, but their crews are down at the port, patrolling the warships for the next 6 weeks.
What about the guns here?
Well, they're still under cover.
You're certain?
Their recoil chambers have not yet been filled with oil.
What about the minefields?
What minefields?
The ones that protect the Russian ships. There must be a passage through them.
Well, it changes. Every day they sow more mines, and in the evening they sweep a new channel.
Mr. Reilly, we need a copy of tonight's swap channel.
Attack tonight.
At midnight.
Without warning.
Our code does not require a declaration of war.
The Russians do not recognize your code.
But that is unfortunate. For them.
Has the British government been informed?
I presume so. After all, we are allies.
Well, it's news to me.
That is beside the point. You will get us the chart of tonight's swap channel. You will deliver it to me here at 10 p.m., no later.
It won't be that easy.
Mr. Reilly, you are a shipping agent. It won't be that difficult.
I presume, then, that this is no ordinary reconnaissance.
No. We are going to cut the cables that link Port Arthur with the outside world.
Did you bring payment for the guide?
$2,000.
Don't let him know. All his friends will cut your throats before you reach the cables. Tell him the boat that comes tonight brings the payment.
I appreciate your advice.
I shall be back tonight.
With the chart.
Hello, Minnie. You were packing?
Greenberg's been here. He says the Japanese are good to see. He says war is inevitable.
He's right. They attack tonight. Book your passage out in the next ship.
What about you?
I have to stay on for a while.
I'll kill you, you know. I know exactly what you're doing here.
Greenberg, your lover.
Why do you ask?
I'm just curious.
Is that all? You're not angry, you're not jealous, you're just curious.
We haven't got much time.
Yet you feel it appropriate at this moment to inquire whether Greenberg is my lover.
I want to know.
Why has it taken you so long? Well, the answer to your question is yes, Greenberg was my lover. He actually took these out of their wrappings. I sometimes feel they've been boxed up ever since we left Southampton.
Greenberg say anything else?
I don't think you understand what it's been like for me here. I can't go into town because you say I'll be raped, forbidden to ride outside the house without an escort in case I'm kidnapped. I'm a virtual prisoner. I never know when you're coming in or going out. The only companion I have had has been Greenberg. Well, she might have gone mad.
The dangers were real. Baku is Christian compared to what happens out here.
Then why didn't you send me home? What's going to happen?
And to sink the Russian fleet. God knows what will happen after that.
I mean about us.
Your selfishness is of cosmic proportions. There is going to be a war. This country is going to be turned into a charnel house. Everyone we know here is going to die.
Including you?
No, I'll find a way.
Like you did in Baku.
No, this time you're going, I'm staying.
Look. We can't stop the war. But we can mend our feelings
It's
for each
too
other.
late.
It's never too late. You taught me that.
I have to get to the office. You must pack. I'll send Greenberg to collect.
Sydney!
I'll try and get back this afternoon, but things are difficult.
Please. It's not my fault. It's this place that's done it to me.
I know. What was that for?
Just to show you. You can't fob me off with a kiss and a hug.
Tell you the news?
Yes?
Everyone's trying to get out. The office has been like this since sunup.
But we know the quickest way out is by rail.
Well, it's only on the railroad. Schlüssel's new orders.
Is the food ping docked?
An hour ago.
Tell McDougal not to dump down the boilers. He may have to sail on the flood.
Yes, sir.
Greenberg. Make out the documentation for my wife. She'll be leaving on the food ping.
Of course.
All junior officers invited to attend the Admiral's ball tonight will attend. That is an order. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
I have also noticed officers riding through the streets at a gallop. This causes panic. Officers will, in future, learn to curb their impatience and ride in a manner befitting to their rank.
Yes, sir.
3, the band. I am concerned that the band is not playing music of a particularly martial character. Strauss is not, to my way of thinking, suitable for mounted parades. Gilbert and Sullivan...
Your Excellency, a dispatch, sir, from St. Petersburg. The Japanese delegation have left the city.
Where were we, Vanderbilt?
The band, sir. Gilbert and Sullivan.
May I pass this to the Admiral, sir? He may wish to raise steam.
Why, sir? Are we expecting an attack?
Under their frock coats, the Japanese are still warriors, Your Excellency. The word for war and attack are the same in their vocabulary.
In the history of our civilization, a yellow race has yet to make an attack upon a white one. I do not think that the Japanese are likely to set a precedent.
Nevertheless...
Thank St. Petersburg for the information and file it.
Yes, sir.
Gilbert and Sullivan is equally unsuitable. Yes?
I have a warrant, sir, which needs Your Excellency's signature.
Bring it here. 4, caviar. It is important that the caviar for tonight's function arrives on time and at the right temperature. Why do you want to arrest Reilly?
I'm told he's in contact with the Japanese, sir.
The Japanese?
Yes, sir. So I thought if he was detained, we could find out precisely when they will attack, sir.
There will be no attack. How many times do I have to reassure the inhabitants of this town that war is out of the question?
Yes, sir.
You may search his house you find anything which incriminates him, then you may arrest him
Yes, Your Excellency.
and shoot him.
Crucifixion is the custom in these parts, Your Excellency.
Firing squad, Inspector, if you please.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Where were we?
Caviar.
Turn 83. Erickson. I'm from England. I saw Cummings before I left. Gave me this for you.
Am I meant to smoke it, or does it contain some message?
Well, I tried instead.
What brings you to Port Arthur?
The war. I'm here to cover it for the Times. That is, if there's going to be a war.
There is.
As Cummings said, your view was pessimistic.
At this moment, the Japanese fleet are 40 miles south of Rhode Island. At midnight, they aim to hit Port Arthur, sinking the Russian fleet. At dawn, they'll put ashore landing parties at Chefu and Dolny. By midday, they should control the entire province. Dear Reilly, things seem to have got a trifle out of hand. Stay as long as you can. There's a good fellow, yours, C. Do you know, a cable Cummings for advice, and all he sends me is this.
But there will be some declaration of war, surely.
According to the Code of Bushido, no. As I understand it, they're under no obligation to inform anyone but their ancestors.
Sticks a bit in the throat, doesn't it? I mean, they ought to be given a sporting chance.
Colonel, for the past 20 years, the Imperial Russian Army has advanced eastward, sabering anyone and everything that got in its way. They gave nobody a sporting chance.
The destruction of the Russian fleet. That would change the balance of power throughout the East. That's the point. No one will be safe after this.
That is just what I've been saying in my report since I came here.
Mr. Reilly, sir?
Ah, Li Pin. Li Pin, this is Colonel Erickson. The Colonel is...
Foreign correspondent for the London Times.
Li Pin is from the back. He knows all about our operation here. Deacon, correct me if I'm wrong, but are there not 22,000 tons of coal dust at the depot at Chefu? I want you to buy it. I also want you to buy all coal stocks north of Dolny.
All coal stocks?
At least 10,000 tons, and anything else which will be useful in the war. Timber, sand, cement. It's a bad situation, Colonel, but I don't see why we shouldn't make money out of it.
McDougal's run up a fever flag. He won't let anyone on board. He wants to talk to you.
What is it?
He says it's cholera.
You'll have to excuse me.
If they're landing it down there, I shall make my way there now.
Mr. Reilly, sir. In wartime, they crucify speculators.
Bye. Greenberg, with effect from tomorrow, you take over as shipping agent in Port Arthur. I've written to Shanghai informing them of your promotion.
It's a very happy day for him.
Some people might find such a sentiment misplaced.
I sincerely regret, Mrs. Reilly, that this had to happen in your husband's absence.
May I ask what you expect to find?
Incriminating documents. Items that relate to his espionage activities.
Why do you think my husband is a spy?
All foreigners are spies. Especially those who work for transportation companies. Whose is this?
Belonged to my first husband.
English spies are particularly fond of the Bible. They take great pleasure in constructing elaborate ciphers from its most tendentious passages.
My late husband was a minister of God.
I'm not interested in your late husband. I'm interested in Mr. Reilly. Where are his ponies? They're not in the stables.
I have no idea.
Mrs. Reilly, why are you leaving the country at this moment? Are you running away? Is Greenberg your lover, Mrs. Reilly? Would you say, Mrs. Reilly, that your departure from the bungalow is as a result of a disagreement between yourself and your husband over Mr. Greenberg, perhaps? Or is it connected with the coming war with Japan? Of course, if Mr. Reilly were here, everything would be made clear. Would it not?
Welcome aboard.
What's all this about fever, Mac?
There isn't any fever. I just didn't want anybody aboard until Alfred had a chance to talk to you. I think it was about here. I came in behind Rhonda Island to run out the coast, and there they were. Battleships, troopships, cruisers. I steamed right through them.
How fast were they doing?
They were hardly making way. But their course was no west. They were heading in this direction.
Did they see you?
No, sir. I was carrying no lights. These are pirate waters.
I want you to turn around.
There were
Mac, as fast as
jettisoning,
you
life
can.
rafts, ventilators, even the stoppers off the big guns. Not even they would throw such stuff overboard for an exercise. They're preparing for battle.
Take her out on the flood, head for Chemelpo.
But we'll get war on these people. Haven't we? There are women and children up on that
It's
hill.
none of our business, Mac.
That's not true. We're allied to the Japanese.
That's why we can't interfere.
But there's going to be a lot of killing out there. Just look at those ships. They're like coconuts on a fair. No steam and no boilers, no torpedoes.
You are not to interfere in this business, Mac. Now you turn round and head for Chemelpo and you tell them there what you saw at Rond.
By which time it'll be too late. How many have you got waiting out there?
400, 500 people.
I'll take the lot.
You're taking no one. I
But
know
it's-
all the arguments, Mac. We're not going to interfere with what's happening here.
You mean the town's doomed? There's nothing you can do about it?
That's right, Mac.
I'll be damned if I'll go along with that.
Chemelpo.
That's right.
What about the fever?
Just one man. I'll have him looked at when we get there.
Well, make sure you do. Here are your clearance papers, Captain. Bill of lading. Charts for the swept channel. What about the passenger manifest? Are there any alterations?
Yes, one. My wife. She'll be traveling to Chemelpo.
Her name?
Mrs. Margaret Reilly. It's a letter to Captain Bailey on HMS Talbot. When you get to Chemelpo, give it to him.
If we get to Chemelpo.
Give it to him, Mac. Also, this is the latest position of our own ship. See that they telegraph to Shanghai.
Why can't that be done from here tomorrow?
The lines will be out.
You're in this right up to your neck, aren't you?
That's why I want you to get Margaret out. If she's here this time tomorrow, they'll nail her to the wall of the bungalow. There's just one other thing. I shall need the chart of the swept channel. Can you get through without it?
Yes, I can. I can just read off the bearings.
You sure?
Yes.
And can I have it?
You're going to let them in, aren't you? Over the bar, through the minefield. Torpedo boats, no doubt. You know what happens when a torpedo hits a warship? A flash ignites the magazine. You wouldn't believe that in such a confined space, men can die in so many different ways. I doubt if we shall meet again. But if we do, it'll be no longer as friends.
Margaret?
Yeah.
Jensen,
Yes.
took Minna?
All of them.
Forget about the trunks. Just pack 2 cases. McDougal sailing this evening has offered you his cabin.
What about you? You're not coming.
I have some business to attend to.
You won't change your mind?
No.
I'll wait.
McDougal can't.
Tomorrow, then.
Tomorrow will be too late.
So, this is how it ends. Just packed off like a parcel.
If you stay, they'll kill you. There'll be 200 people crucified on the hill tomorrow. I don't want you to be one of them. Now, these people take their reprisals seriously.
So, when I get to Jamaica, what then?
Keep going.
Back to England. When I get there, how long do I wait? How long? You are coming back.
Of course I'm coming back. Somehow I'll get back, believe me. Will you be there when I do?
I don't know. God forgive me. I prayed for this war. I thought it would bring us together again.
Don't worry, it's Greenberg. He'll take you to the docks.
Can't you even do that?
I have to meet the Japanese.
They're here?
Yes, they are.
Signal the fleet to make calls for Port Arthur.
Yes, sir.
Wonderful, isn't it?
What is it, sir?
A salt dish. We'll present her with it at midnight. I want it properly wrapped in silk, don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Good. And the whole affair is to be recorded.
Yes, General.
Take a seat over there, will you? While I adjust the focus. These machines can be most unflattering.
General Stoessel,
Yes, what is it now?
the lines to Chefoo have been cut, sir.
Fog.
I have dispatched the destroyer to pick up the shore party.
Have Captain Tanaka brought to my cabin the moment he comes aboard.
Yes, sir.
He'll be waiting for us. Give him a few more minutes. You're late.
I brought the chart.
You ought to be congratulated.
Tell your captains there's only 15 feet of water over the bow.
Our torpedo boats draw 11.
Better get your men back on board or you'll miss the party.
Here. We paid off the hullers. There's $60 left over for you.
Price has doubled since this was around.
You misunderstand me. We have a regular tariff for the reward of spies.
I'm glad to hear it.
It's Henson's in the office.
What about the Fu Ping?
She sailed on time.
Good.
Good evening, Mr. Reilly.
What do you want, Chinsian?
I've been trying to find you all day.
So I've noticed.
It is a matter of urgency. General Stursel wishes to see you. I'm glad your wife got away.
Thank you.
I was surprised to hear she was going only as far as Jamaica. With such a large amount of luggage and such an ardent embrace from Mr. Greenberg, I feared she was leaving us for good. Still, that's none of my business.
Quite.
When he turned away, the poor fellow was crying. Well, there was such a large amount of crying on the bund tonight that it went quite unnoticed. Except by me. Tell me, Mr. Reilly, which do you favor, an attack tonight or tomorrow morning?
Attack?
From the Japanese.
Could they possibly attack on your manor at a circus and the officers at a ball?
Inconvenience is one of the drawbacks of war.
Were you invited to the ball, Inspector?
No, sir. It is for officers only. White officers.
Too much for Chinamen.
They think of us as barbarians. Yet my ancestors were rulers of this world when they were no more than the serfs of the great Khan.
The Japanese will not make better masters.
You're right. A charming people, but given to extremes. I would not like them in charge here. But such decisions are not made by humble servants, such as myself. They are made in heaven.
You're wrong, Chinsian. They're made in the boardrooms of banks. That is why this war will be fought over coal and timber.
It has nothing to do with honor?
No.
Then why are you here?
That is a good question.
Inspector Chinson, the General will see you now.
Mr. Reilly,
Take
Your
these.
Excellency.
I'll give you the rest later. Wait outside, Inspector. Mr. Reilly, I am informed by the Commissioners to the Interior that all the coal stocks on the peninsula are now owned by your company.
Yes, Your Excellency.
You have also found it prudent to invest the company's money in timber, pig iron, cement, grain, and other commodities that might prove useful in the event of war. Mr. Reilly, your company's investments have led to panic buying on the Shanghai market. Prices are going through the roof.
Once the war starts, they will go even higher.
There's not going to be any war. And if there was, I would not hesitate to make an order requisitioning your stocks. You would not profit from them by 1 kopeck. So why have you pursued this ludicrous scheme?
Sir, my stocks have been carefully selected. They're at Chefoo, Dolny, and New Chang, which, in the event of war, will be occupied almost at once by the Japanese. And so, you see, my profit will be in yen.
Yen?
Yes, it's what we in the West call forward buying.
Let me tell you, sir, that the Japanese will not be permitted to land one soldier north of the 38th parallel.
So their transports are already at sea.
At sea they may be. Land they will not. This exercise is a bluff, designed to promote panic in the peninsula. And you, sir, are part of it.
Sir, Your Excellency has known for months that I am an agent of the British government. You have regularly opened my secret dispatches to our embassy in St. Petersburg. And in those dispatches, I mentioned for your benefit, as well as the British, the suicidal nature of the coming confrontation. Now, neither you nor the British have paid the slightest attention to my warnings, and so I've been left with nothing better to do than to make the maximum profit out of your combined stupidity.
It was my intention to have you tried for espionage. However, in view of the resources that your company now hold here, I do not want to overreact. Take him to the lockup. Keep him there. If the war breaks out, shoot him. It's people like you that cause all the trouble. Spies and speculators. If the world was left to military men, we would have been spared this crisis.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Yes?
It's nearly 12, sir. Time to cut the cake.
Have you found the fault on the Chefu cable?
No, sir. The lines to Dorney are also down. Hello? Port office? No, he's busy. Right. Report from the lighthouse, sir. Unidentified torpedo boats are standing off the point.
Well, call a battery and ask them to confirm. Oh, and call Dolney, see if any of our boats are due in.
There's nothing in the ledger, sir.
Nevertheless, call Dolney and check.
We are approaching the coast, sir.
Break out the battle flags.
Yes, Admiral. Turn out your pockets. Your watch.
May I keep the watch?
Enjoy your cigar. I suggest you smoke it sooner rather than later. There will be no time for formalities should I return.
All senior officers present, Admiral.
Gentlemen,
We are at war. Our enemy is Russia. Our target
Port Arthur. Our aim, the destruction of the Russian Pacific Squadron.
Mom? Mom?
Yes, what is it? Is that gunfire?
Right, I'll have to douse the lights.
What's that burning?
That, Mom, is Port Arthur.